Joe Marino in studio right now. Good morning. Your wife's a teacher.
My wife is a teacher, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
If you were to tell them today 40 to 50 in a class, what do you think?
Yeah, no, listen, he made a good point, but he also said there were 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th graders. I mean, when you got 40 or 50 6 and 7-year-olds, it's a little different.
The world was a different place back then. You had an opportunity, by the way, to go off and work in a factory and make good wages.
You also had an opportunity as a teacher to kick a ruler to kids' knuckles back then. So I don't think that's
yeah,
it's tough to control. Look, it's a tough position as a teacher. I don't care if there's 2 kids or 100 kids. I thank God for my teachers when I was young. So.
Stewart's. Looks like East Utica, West Utica. What do we know?
We know that Stewart's has brought a proposal to the zoning board for what's called a use variance to use existing commercial land that is available in West Utica and East Utica and use it in a way that is susceptible for a service station.
And this will not go through the Common Council.
This does not go through the Common Council. This is a different proposition. What we voted on originally, as you know, was a zoning change, which would have raised the house, and in my opinion, would have disturbed the quality of life of some people in a particular neighborhood. And to which we said, all along, and I maintain the same thing. I mean, this has been an embarrassment, to say the least, throughout the entire process. But to the point that we are now, I've maintained that there's been plenty in ample land, commercial use, and so now it's before the zoning board. I trust the zoning board.
Do you give this your blessing?
It's not for me to give a blessing.
Yeah.
It wasn't before. It wasn't after. I trust that the Zoning Board of Appeals, who does an amazing job, will make it another amazing determination. And whichever way they decide, I'll continue to represent the people that I represent daily. And if that happens to include a Stewart's, then I'll represent their interests just as well as I do everyone else.
So, but I'm wondering, you're not willing to come out and say yes, because I think there was a point where we had talked and you had said, I would support it if they just stayed on the property without changing all the variances and the zoning and all of that.
I just don't want to make it seem like it's in me to give a blessing or not give a blessing.
I'm asking for your personal opinion.
My opinion is anything that makes the city of Utica grow is a positive.
Okay.
And if this helps the city grow, then so be it. It's anything in terms of change in a positive way is a good thing. I just need to make sure that the people that I represent have access to the administration, the mayor, and us, the Common Council, to make sure that they get all the answers that they need. That's all I need.
All right.
It's been poor communication.
Hang tight. We'll continue after the news break. We'll come right back here. First news, Keeler in the morning. WIBX. Not against it. That's what.
I'm not trying.
You don't want to be
middle.
You don't want to be a part of it.
No. Listen. It was handled poorly in the beginning. And that's clear. Everyone should admit that. If they don't, they're lying to themselves. It's been handled poorly throughout. The communication has been abysmal from the top down.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Now, you have to know that what's going on right now is they've been working, Stewart's has to have been working with City Hall, as they have been all along.
Sure.
Now this is moving forward. It looks like it's going to move forward. It looks like this will pass the zoning board, and I know that Jim Zecca and his crew in West Utica, they're actually, they want to show their support for this.
Mm-hmm.
Has the mayor reached out to you and those that were against it originally in any way to talk about what's planned in the future?
No, unfortunately he has not, but again, that's not necessary. It's unfortunate, but it's not necessary. I mean, look, I know, there was someone that said, I'm smart enough to know I don't know everything, and that's me. I'm smart enough to know I don't know everything. I do know this. When you work cooperatively with people, and you try to come to a consensus with people, and especially being in a government job when the people pay you to do your job, those things are valuable, and in this situation possibly could have been avoided or it could have been lessened, and that hasn't happened. But now, no, he hasn't reached out. And
could this be a smoother transition to make this thing happen? Could this go through in a smoother way if the mayor would reach out to all parties involved, or even those that
I'm always
involved?
Of that belief. I mean, any circumstance, whether it be stewards, whether it be public safety, whether it be anything, look at what Superintendent Karam's doing now. He's going to reach out to every member of the community that's invested in that grant program that they have for extended school days and get their opinion on it so they can come to the best decision that they can make for the school. I just think that that's a proper way to approach things. So that's any case, not just this case, any case. But the fact that he hasn't, again, I had a job that I believed I did for some constituents based on a zoning change. That case is no longer in front of me. Now it's in the zoning board's hands again. I'm in full confidence of them, and whatever way they decide, I will represent the entire district the way I could and the way I had in the past to make sure it's the safest, cleanest environment for all those people, and to give them an outlet to make sure that their voices are heard.
I know you know that I'm just taking each question and just repackaging it and asking it again. I know you realize that.
That's okay.
So there were times that people said in the past, and I'm not sure that this came out of your mouth, but, listen, we already have 2 convenience stores over there. We don't need another one.
Yeah.
Or those that said, listen, this is a free market. This is how this works. Competition is how things work and how we progress.
Yeah, and not to be a politician, but I could see both sides. We do have, look, would it be better if it were something, aside from what's right there already? Sure,
Yeah.
I mean, you give an opportunity to go to different stores. Those are always nice. I mean, imagine if you opened a Circuit City right next to a Best Buy. Now, that's free market, but it's, both electronic stores. Just the neighbors, generally, you don't have options of different types of retail outlets. But, look, it is a free market, and whatever happens to that commercial site is a private sale. And when it comes, I support CJ Berth as much as I possibly could right now. If they called me tomorrow to help with any DEC issues, I would be right in front of them with as much opportunity as I could give them. Same with Stewart's. If they're there because of a private sale, I don't have a say in who buys a house on Albany Street or who, so my job is to just
But you won't at this point say anything to endorse it.
I just don't think it's within my rights to endorse or deny it. I wouldn't do anything to deny it either.
All right.
Do you think, have you heard from the residents over there who were strongly opposed to this initially when they requested the variance? Maybe variance isn't the right word. They wanted to change the zoning to, are they okay with this new proposal that because they're in a smaller footprint and there's fewer gas pumps, et cetera? Have you heard from the residents on this new proposal?
Yeah, the fewer gas pumps I know that was kind of the end result from before, so that's nothing new, the fewer gas pumps. I believe they're at 3 gas pumps, which is 6 actual levers. I did speak to a few residents over there, as I generally do. I mean, I've talked to them throughout this whole process. It didn't end after the vote.
Yeah.
I can't speak for them in terms of what they feel. I do know that the original issue we voted on was to not change zoning on a house in an effort to raise that house and make more commercialization, and that is what we did originally. And I've always told them, I was up front with them before, I said, look, if this fails or this passes, whatever happens, there is still commercial land there that could be used. I've been up front, I've said that from the beginning.
Ultimately, though, in the end, isn't it going to be a situation where, if you're from the outside looking in, that those homeowners over there would have been better off with the original project than the project that is going in, because there was a lot, they were doing the landscaping, they were doing the borders, they were coming closer to the street. It almost seems, when this is all said and done, if this passes, that what they had before was actually better for them.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that because it wasn't for me to say that either. I don't live there. And what they wanted to do was protect the commercialization of their neighborhood, and they did that. So maybe they don't care about a buffer, they care about the house more.
Right.
So, well, I understand your point. They would have gotten a bigger buffer, there's no question about it. But maybe that wasn't their main concern.
When this is all said and done, does Cystitis, does he sell the property there?
If it goes through and everything,
then that's his property there.
It is his property.
Gotcha.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
In studio right now is Robert Channing, and Robert, of course, had an appearance and passed through to the next round on America's Got Talent, and then all of a sudden he's not on the final list, right?
Right.
So, Kristine, throw your mic right over.
I'm sorry. Can you push that?
That's okay.
Got 3 mics coming in.
They're all coming at
How
you
are you?
now.
Good morning.
Okay, so in studio, please say hi to the councilman, Joe Marino.
Good morning,
Robert, it's a
Nice
pleasure to
meet
meet you. It really is.
And he was saying he was excited to meet you, and now you've met. But you have a few
There's one
questions.
person.
You
No,
have
I'll tell you, I've become a fan. I seen you at the Stanley when we went to see Leon and Rami. My wife and I went, and we were in the front row, thanks to the great and wonderful Jerry Krause down there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got us great seats. We seen you there. Then I heard you were going to be on America's Got Talent, so we've become a fan. I mean, we love to support our local guys, but you just happen to be great at what you do. I did have a question, if you don't mind, Bill.
I want you to ask it.
Oh, here we go. Setting me up here.
Because I'm a fan of America's Got Talent. There's a few shows I get to watch, and that's one of them. And now that you're not on the finals, and I see that you are posting, pictures of or videos of what you've done, aren't there things that the producers of the show tell you that if you're going to continue on the show, you can't reveal anything about it, and it seems like you're revealing an awful lot.
Right.
Are you going to get in trouble for any of the things that you're doing?
You know, the future will tell.
Is that it? All right. I was genuinely
that's
concerned for you. I'm thinking to myself, has anyone told him not to do what he's doing?
No,
He literally said, "I'm really worried for him."
yeah, you know what? I wouldn't do it if it was something that was really going to harm me. You know?
Yeah, I just
And
don't want to hurt your
what's a lawsuit?
Right, yeah.
What's
Yeah,
a, you know?
What's
you
a
know,
lawsuit
really.
from one of the biggest network companies?
Yeah, I mean, what are
in
we
the
talking
world?
about here? Monaski.
I was just going to say, given the non-committal answers that you gave today, I thought that was a fitting answer to give in response.
Touche. I was going to say that somebody accidentally put a picture of Citi Field on your computer. Yankee Stadium, but I didn't say that either.
Well,
Okay.
listen, those Mets are looking good yesterday.
That's great. That's great.
All
Well,
right,
good,
Rick.
Robert. Good luck with everything,
Oh, thanks,
and I'm
Joe.
glad to have met you. Good
Oh,
luck. I
my
hope to
pleasure.
see you more.
And Robert's about to reveal something coming up just after 8:30 this morning, so hang tight in the studio. We're going to talk to John Zogby coming up. Anything else, Joe Marino? You have something coming up today, but you don't want to reveal anything.
Well, it's not that I don't want to reveal it. I just want to give everybody an opportunity to see it. You know, we've had a lot of crime in the area, and I've got a piece coming out regarding public safety. You know, a lot of these issues, including stewards and things, they're great, but, you know, we see a lot of distractions, especially within the Democratic Party lately. Those things are distractions, and we have major issues that we have to focus on, and one of them is public safety. So I'll be sending out a release a little later to discuss that, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it.
Deputy Mayor, Councilman Joe, I gave him that label a while back. We get to talk to you often, which is good. I mean, we'll give you that.
It's always a pleasure to be here, I guess.
Deputy Mayor
It's a good
status.
thing.
Hold tight. We'll come right back with.